Hey guys, Blarg and Flarg here. Today we're going to be doing a tutorial on Breach and how to play Breach both on offense and defense. I decided I'm going to combine the offensive and defensive videos together to make it a little bit more simple and then just go one map at a time. That way you can get the entire thing start to finish rather than having to watch more than one video to feel like you're a competent player on this specific hero. Now, before we get started, I do want to make sure that I mention that Breach is an extremely offensive hero. That means that even on the defensive side, you're still going to have to play offensive to make the perfect use of this character's abilities. You can't just sit back and let them come to you and expect your abilities to do the heavy lifting. You have to kind of take the initiative and take the fight to them to really utilize your abilities right. So obviously, with that being said, we're going to start on offense. And we're going to start on the A site on the split map, and then we're going to move to mid and attack both sides of mid, whether you're splitting towards A or splitting towards B, or even just looking at mid control, and then move over to the B bomb site. Now, the biggest thing is attacking the A site as Breach is not fully doable as a single hero. You kind of have to hope that you have a little bit of support by your team, or that you can just outskill the opponent on your own, because there's too many angles for him to cover specifically with his abilities. That being said, the most common spot for an enemy to be hiding or defending as the first line of defense is on the ramp to A towards heaven. It's extremely easy to line up your fault line from behind a wall here and be able to get a good push on them. The biggest thing that's holding you back here is the fact that you cannot cover the whole area. So that means either you have to take a gamble and just shoot it where you think they are, down a line like this, and then push, or you have to trust in your teammates and maybe a duo queue partner that you have, or full team. If you're doing that, you can move into the sewers and actually hit it directly from this line right here. In this spot, you can actually go right across the ramp and hit every single spot that everybody hides in a normal defense. This goes right across the cubby to the left side of the ramp, the boxes, and just the top of the ramp right behind the wall. If you do this, though, you have to have somebody that's going to push for you. You cannot push it yourself. Obviously, you're too far away. The next thing to note while you're pushing ahead on Breach is the fact that your fault line does take a second to actually take effect. If you just fire it off, charge it up now, and fire it, then peek, you're going to die. You have to wait for it to pop and then peek. Because as soon as you run out, you saw you are out in the open and your CC has not gone off yet. Which means that if the enemy's still peeking, they've got a good couple shots to put out before you can actually CC them and get the advantage. My one suggestion for if you just have to hard carry and do everything on your own on A site is to, of course, stand behind the wall here in A main. I want you to charge it up and shoot it up the ramp with your fault line. And then while you're pushing, immediately swap to your flash and shoot it towards heaven. So fault line, swap to your flash, shoot it through this, and blind heaven. That's going to give you just a second here while they're still blinded or stunned to get up here and hopefully take a favorable fight. Moving on to taking mid control on the split map using Breach. The mid is one of my favorite spots to attack and defend on split, as you guys have heard me say multiple times in previous videos. I just love this spot. It's super fun. It's great for skill expression in both abilities and aim. So if you're attacking from sewers, I want you to come right up behind this box, and what you're going to do is you just use your fault line and charge it up just to hit the cubby towards B. As soon as you hit that cubby, you peek and take your fight here. If there's nobody there, you can swing on this guy here who doesn't have a good advantage on this angle. He's going to be looking towards B, the B entrance. In a similar fashion, if you're attacking from the actual B side towards mid, what I want you to do is I want you to bring out your fault line, charge it up, and hit the rope room with it. Wait for it to hit, and then peek. Take your fight, and while you're moving forward to check mid, what I want you to do is I want you to shoot a flashbang through this wall. If you do this flashbang right, you can actually get it to just come out the side of this wall here, facing forward. This is going to give you coverage on both the right side here and peeking in towards heaven on the B site. In general, I don't suggest that you use your ultimate to take over mid control on split while on the offense here. The problem being is the fact that, sure, it covers all 3 of the major hiding spots that somebody will be on the CT side here, whether it's 1, behind behind the wall here, 2, in rope room, or 3, in the mid connector to B heaven. It'll hit all 3 of those spots, but the problem is that you don't know where the enemy is or how many of them there are. So even if you roll your ulti out and hit somebody, you still have to take an inexorbitant amount of time to peek and clear all of these locations, and it's most likely going to take you longer than your stun lasts and end up wasting your ulti. To attack the B side on split, as always, I expect you to be able to get control of the garage without using all of your abilities. After you take the garage area, what I want you to do is actually line yourself up with this last pillar here. If you go straight diggity down, you can actually put your flash grenade on this brick right here. This flash grenade you can see on your map is going to hit everybody that is peeking the connector from garage to B. You flash there, and then you can take your fight along here. Just with that simple tip, you should be able to get out onto the B site. That doesn't necessarily mean that you've cleared out behind the box here, though. To do that, you use your secondary flash grenade because you shouldn't need it to defend post-plant. I want you to just shoot it directly through this box, and there's no way for somebody behind this area to hide from that flash grenade. Defending the A site on split using breach is actually a really fun thing, because they've got this nice little choke point that they have to come through with multiple angles they have to watch more than just yourself on ramp. Consider the fact that they're pushing A. You now have multiple options. If you know that they threw up a wall, or you can hear them coming through or starting to shuffle around near sewers, you could easily charge up your fault line and stun them all to get a quick peek. If you're not comfortable with that, the next best thing that is just quick and easy to gather yourself information is just shooting a flashbang through this wall here, and you can easily gather enough information or take a fight. That will also clear up any vision that they have so that you can cross to this side without them knowing, which is extremely valuable, as well as the fact that this is actually an even better spot for you to use your flashbang from. If you had to use it from anywhere, this is your best opportunity here. My best suggestion that I have using your ultimate on the A site is actually using it post-plant or during the plant. The nice thing about Breach's ultimate is that as much as it's slow traveling or slow moving, it is a knock up / knock back, which is a hard CC effect more so than the soft CC of a flashbang or even just a daze. When you do this, you can cover the entire site where anybody's going to be planting in, and when you launch your ulti,
my ult's ready.
As you can see, as it travels through, it'll knock back or up anybody in that path. If they're planting the bomb and you hit them with that, you're automatically going to be stunning them and stopping them from planting the bomb. This also works on defuses. If you're taking a critical fight on offense and you're trying to stop somebody from defusing, your ultimate will stop them from defusing the bomb and buy you some time. As for your mid control on split, like I said before, it's my favorite place to defend from or attack from on the split site because there's just so much that you can possibly do. I love defending from this wall here because this gives you a great opportunity to attack either from B or from A. You're easily able to, 1, shoot a fault line straight into the B connector and then take the peek. Or if you know they're not there, but you think they might already be out in the open, you can actually angle your flash grenade to breach through the wall and peek the main area. After you get into the open, you're going to be able to stun into sewers and push sewers from there. With that in mind, the enemy doesn't always come mid because it's such a volatile area. It's so easy for things to go wrong just on the flick of a switch or just on a whim. Anything could go wrong. Your entire team can get wiped in an instant. So while defending mid using breach, you can actually affect both A or B from this simple location. Say they're pushing A and they've taken out your guy on ramp. You just need to buy time to get a rotation over there. Easy. Charge up your fault line and you could knock them back all the way to their CT spawn wall. That should give you more than enough time and cause enough hesitation for you to rotate right through rope room and get into heaven. Similarly, if they're attacking the B site and you know that they're in garage, you're able to charge up your fault line all the way to the hallway connector, which your teammate should already be able to see here, and get them a good stun. Even if your teammate isn't taken out in either of these positions, though, you can use these stuns as just utility. If your teammate wants to take an aggressive peek because you know that they're at B, or you know that they're at A and they're trying to take extra ground, you could say, hey, I'm in mid. Let me throw a stun your way. Boom. Stun out. Your teammate can peek. You still hold the mid control. You don't have to rotate or anything to give them that utility. When you're defending B on split, I really just want you to use your resources. Don't be stingy or try and hold on to your abilities, because you can take so much ground so easily by just using stuff that's on a cooldown like your E, and it's going to come back to you. As soon as the round starts, charge up your fault line and hit it immediately through where they're going to peek. That gives you the advantage while you're peeking, and also gives you plenty of time, if they're not there, to rotate to this corner. Now you may be wondering, I just used my CC. Why do I want to go aggressively when I don't have any more CC? Well, the big thing to think about is in garage, if you're already hiding behind this corner, your fault line and your CC is not your best utility. Your flashbangs will give you the best advantage in taking a fight around here. As well as the fact that if they are pushing garage and you are able to successfully get this position, it's such a close quarter spot that you're able to use your aftershock either in garage or even towards where they're connecting to get easy pressure and either back them up and deal some damage or get a free kill off of. Well, that's everything for my tutorial on Breach for how to attack and defend and use his abilities properly on the split map. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to check out all my other YouTube videos and or my live stream on Tuesdays and Saturday nights weekly. I'll see you guys around.